The ancients have long whispered that the key to transformation lies not in the outer world but in the inner realm of the mind. From the wisdom of Hermeticism to the hidden alchemy of the soul, the mind has been revered as the architect of reality. It is the crucible in which thought shapes existence, the forge through which the soul passes to be refined. Yet, in modern times, this sacred truth has been overshadowed by a world that seeks change through external forces. The deeper wisdom that lies at the heart of all esoteric traditions is that transformation begins, and must always begin, within. For it is the mind that unlocks the doors to the hidden realms, and through mental mastery, the alchemist within us awakens. In the great schools of wisdom, Hermeticism, Alchemy, Gnosticism, and others, one theme remains constant: the mind is both the source and the solution to the challenges we face. The masters of these traditions understood that the mind, in its raw state, is a powerful force that can either entangle us in illusion or liberate us into clarity. In this way, the mind is not merely an instrument of thought but the very matrix through which reality is perceived and experienced. It is the gateway to transformation, the portal through which we can transcend the limitations of the material world and touch the divine. The Hermetic teachings remind us that all is mind. This simple yet profound statement carries within it the seed of enlightenment, for it reveals that everything we experience, whether in the physical, emotional, or spiritual realms, is born first within the mind. By mastering the mind, we do not merely control our thoughts, we become creators of our reality. This is the foundation of personal transformation, understanding that the power to change our lives and our world begins within us. The alchemists sought to transmute lead into gold, but their deeper work was always the transmutation of the soul, refining the base elements of the self into something pure, illuminated, and divine. For those who embark upon this journey, the first step is not outward but inward. To know oneself is the ultimate act of power. Yet, in the chaotic noise of the modern world, many have lost the ability to quiet the mind, to still the thoughts that bind them to limiting beliefs and stagnant patterns. In this state, the potential for transformation is obscured, for the mind, left unchecked, generates endless illusions that entrap the soul in a cycle of suffering and confusion. The teachings of the esoteric traditions offer a way out of this labyrinth, a pathway toward the mastery of the mind and the revelation of the inner truth. This book is an invitation to walk that path. It is not a path of blind faith or passive reflection, but one of active engagement with the deepest aspects of your being. You will be asked to look into the hidden corners of your mind, to confront the limiting beliefs and thought patterns that have shaped your reality, and to transmute them through the practices of mental alchemy. Each chapter will guide you through a process of discovery and refinement, offering ancient insights that have been passed down through the ages and practical applications that can be integrated into your daily life. The journey begins with awareness, becoming conscious of the mind as the source of all experience. Without awareness, transformation is impossible, for we cannot change what we do not see. In this first stage of the journey, you will be asked to observe your thoughts, to take inventory of the beliefs that have governed your life up until now. This is the Negretto stage of alchemical transformation, where we confront the shadow aspects of the mind and bring them into the light of awareness. Through this process, the mind is purified, refined, and prepared for the next stage of its evolution. As you progress through this journey, you will encounter the albedo stage, where clarity and illumination begin to emerge. Here, the mind becomes a mirror, reflecting the higher truths of the soul. The thoughts that once limited you will dissolve, replaced by a new understanding of yourself and your place in the universe. Finally, you will reach the stage of rubedo, the completion of the alchemical work, where the mind, body, and spirit are brought into perfect harmony. This is the philosopher's stone, the ultimate state of balance, the realization of your true nature as a divine being. Throughout this book, we will explore the ancient teachings of Hermeticism, alchemy, Gnosticism, and other esoteric traditions, each offering a unique perspective on the mind's role in personal transformation. These teachings will not only deepen your understanding of esoteric philosophy but will also provide practical tools for mental mastery. You will learn how to work with the mind as a creative force, how to purify and refine your thoughts, how to shift your mental states, and how to harness the power of will and intention to shape your reality. The goal is not merely intellectual knowledge but lived experience, the kind of transformation that touches every aspect of your life. As you embark on this journey, it is important to recognize that personal transformation is not a linear process. It is cyclical, much like the alchemical stages we will explore. You may find yourself revisiting certain aspects of your mind that you thought you had transcended, only to discover deeper layers that require further refinement. This is the nature of the great work, the ongoing process of self-discovery and transformation. Each cycle brings you closer to the realization of your higher self, the divine spark within you that is waiting to be awakened. Now, take a moment to reflect. Where are you on your journey of transformation? What thoughts, beliefs, or mental patterns have shaped your experience thus far? As you sit with these questions, allow yourself to become aware of the potential for change that lies within you. The path ahead is one of discovery, and it begins with the mind. The gateway to transformation is open. Will you step through? In the next chapter, we will delve deeper into the Hermetic principle of mentalism, exploring how the mind creates reality and how mastery over thought is the first step toward personal transformation. This is where the journey truly begins, with the understanding that all is mind, and through the mind, we can shape the world around us and the world within. Chapter 1. The Hermetic Principle of Mentalism, the Mind as the Creator. In the Hermetic tradition, the principle of mentalism stands as the cornerstone of all esoteric knowledge. It is the key that unlocks the mysteries of the universe and the first step toward true personal transformation. All is mind. This simple yet profound maxim reverberates through the ages, carrying with it the understanding that everything we perceive, experience, and interact with originates in the mind. The Hermetic sages taught that the universe itself is a mental construct, an infinite field of consciousness shaped by thought. To master the mind, then, is to master the universe. But what does it truly mean when we say that all is mind? It is an acknowledgement that the fabric of reality is woven from the threads of consciousness. Everything we encounter in the external world is but a reflection of the thoughts, beliefs, and mental states we carry within. The material world is not separate from the mental realm. Rather, it is shaped by it, governed by the subtle laws of thought. This realization offers us both a great challenge and a great opportunity. For if the mind is the creator of all things, then to transform our lives, we must first transform our minds. The sages of old understood that thoughts are not passive or inconsequential. Every thought carries within it a vibratory frequency that interacts with the energies of the universe, attracting or repelling experiences in accordance with its nature. Positive, focused thoughts generate harmony and bring forth experiences that align with higher truths, while negative or chaotic thoughts create discord and attract circumstances that mirror this internal turmoil. The mind is, in essence, a magnet, drawing toward it that which it holds most strongly. To shift our outer reality, we must begin by shifting the inner landscape of our minds. In modern times, we often hear the phrase, mind over matter, but few grasp the depth of its meaning. This concept, rooted in the principle of mentalism, suggests that the mind is the ultimate architect of reality. The body, the emotions, and the circumstances of life are all influenced by the state of the mind. If we wish to change the conditions of our lives, we must begin by mastering the thoughts that give rise to those conditions. This is where the true work of transformation begins, not in the external world, but within the mind itself. The Hermetic principle of mentalism teaches that the mind operates on multiple levels, from the conscious to the subconscious to the superconscious. Each of these levels influences the way we experience reality, often in ways that we are not fully aware of. The conscious mind is the realm of active thought, where we deliberate, analyze, and make decisions. It is the part of the mind that most people are familiar with. Yet, the conscious mind is only the surface of a much deeper ocean. Beneath it lies the subconscious, the repository of memories, beliefs, and patterns that silently shape our lives without our conscious awareness. And beyond the subconscious lies the superconscious, the mind's connection to the divine, the source of inspiration, intuition, and higher wisdom. To master the mind and begin the process of transformation, we must first become aware of these different levels of consciousness and how they interact. The conscious mind, while powerful, is limited by the beliefs and programs stored in the subconscious. These programs act like filters, distorting the way we perceive the world and often limiting what we believe is possible. If we are not careful, the conscious mind becomes a servant to the subconscious, repeating old patterns and recreating the same experiences over and over. The work of the alchemist is to purify these subconscious patterns, bringing them into alignment with higher truths and, in doing so, unlocking the full creative potential of the mind. One of the most effective ways to begin mastering the mind is through the practice of thought observation. This practice, often called mindfulness, involves becoming aware of the thoughts that arise in the mind without judgment or attachment. By observing our thoughts, we begin to see the patterns and tendencies that shape our mental landscape. Are our thoughts mostly positive or negative? Do they align with our highest goals, or do they reflect fear, doubt, and limitation? This awareness is the first step toward mental mastery, for we cannot change what we do not see. As you begin the practice of thought observation, take note of the recurring themes in your mind. Do certain thoughts keep returning, like echoes from the past? These are often indicators of deep-seated beliefs that reside in the subconscious. Once identified, these beliefs can be examined and, if necessary, transformed. The key is not to suppress or ignore these thoughts but to bring them into the light of awareness, where they can be transmuted through the power of conscious intention. In the process of mental transformation, we must also learn to harness the power of focused thought. In the Hermetic tradition, thought is seen as a form of energy, one that can be directed toward specific outcomes. This is the essence of mental alchemy, the ability to take a thought, much like an alchemist takes a base metal, and refine it into something greater. By focusing the mind on positive, constructive thoughts, we create a resonance that attracts corresponding experiences into our lives. The more consistently we hold these thoughts, the stronger the resonance becomes, and the more powerfully we shape our reality. To strengthen your ability to focus your thoughts, I offer a simple exercise. Each day, choose a single positive thought or affirmation that aligns with your goals. For example, you might choose, "I am strong, capable, and aligned with my highest purpose." Throughout the day, repeat this thought to yourself, both silently and aloud. As you do, visualize the energy of this thought expanding outward, filling your mind, your body, and your entire being. Allow this thought to become a beacon, attracting experiences that resonate with its vibration. Over time, you will notice that the more you focus on this thought, the more it shapes your external reality, drawing opportunities, people, and circumstances that align with its energy. The principle of mentalism teaches that the mind is not only the creator of reality but also the gateway to higher states of consciousness. As we refine our thoughts and bring the mind into alignment with higher truths, we open the door to spiritual awakening. This is the deeper purpose of mental mastery, not merely to change our external circumstances but to awaken to our true nature as creators, as divine beings who are intimately connected to the universal mind. In mastering the mind, we unlock the potential for profound personal and spiritual transformation. We begin to see that the limitations we once believed were external are, in fact, self-imposed. The barriers we face are not fixed realities but mental constructs, and once we understand this, we are free to reshape our world. The mind, when aligned with divine will, becomes a powerful tool for creation, capable of manifesting harmony, peace, and enlightenment. As we move forward in this journey, remember that the mind is both the beginning and the end of the great work. It is the crucible in which the soul is purified, the alchemical vessel through which the base elements of our being are refined into spiritual gold. In the next chapter, we will explore the alchemical process of mental transmutation, diving deeper into how we can purify and elevate the mind to align with our highest potential. Chapter 2: Alchemical Transmutation of Thought, Purifying the Mind. In the ancient art of alchemy, the transmutation of base metals into gold was the ultimate symbol of spiritual refinement. Yet, for the alchemists of old, this process was far more than the mere pursuit of material wealth. It was a sacred metaphor for the transformation of the self, the elevation of the soul from its raw, unrefined state to the pure and radiant expression of divine consciousness. At the heart of this transmutation lies the mind, for it is through the mind that we engage in the great work of spiritual alchemy. The thoughts we hold, the beliefs we nurture, and the mental patterns we cultivate all play a central role in the alchemical process of self-purification. Just as the alchemist begins with lead, dense, dark, and heavy, so too do we begin with the raw materials of the mind. These are the base thoughts that weigh us down, the limiting beliefs, fears, and doubts that cloud our vision and prevent us from seeing the truth of our own divine nature. The work of mental alchemy involves refining these base elements, transmuting them through the stages of purification until they become gold, clear, luminous, and aligned with the highest truths of the universe. The alchemical process can be broken down into distinct stages, each reflecting a different aspect of the mind's purification. These stages, known as negredo, blackening, albedo, whitening, and rubedo, reddening, offer a powerful framework for understanding the transformation of thought. Through negredo, we confront the shadow aspects of the mind, our fears, doubts, and limiting beliefs. This is a time of dissolution, where old structures break down and the impurities of the mind rise to the surface. In albedo, the mind undergoes a process of clarification and illumination, where higher truths begin to emerge, and the light of consciousness shines more brightly. Finally, in rubedo, the mind reaches a state of integration and harmony, where the purified elements of thought are fused together into a unified whole. Let us begin with negredo, the first stage of mental transmutation. This is the stage of shadow work, where we confront the darker aspects of the mind that have been hidden from view. In this stage, we must face the limiting beliefs and thought patterns that have shaped our reality. Often, these beliefs are so deeply ingrained in the subconscious that we are not even aware of their influence. They may manifest as self-doubt, fear of failure, feelings of unworthiness, or a belief in scarcity. To purify the mind, we must first bring these shadows into the light of awareness. The process of negredo is one of dissolution, where the false and limiting aspects of the mind begin to disintegrate. This can be an uncomfortable stage, as it requires us to let go of the thoughts and beliefs that have defined us for so long. But it is a necessary step, for only by dissolving the old can we make way for the new. In this stage, we must practice self-reflection and honesty, asking ourselves, what beliefs have I been holding on to that no longer serve me? What thoughts are keeping me bound to a limited understanding of myself and the world? By acknowledging these shadows, we begin the process of mental purification. As we move through Negredo, we enter the stage of albedo, where the mind begins to clear and illuminate. In this stage, the light of consciousness shines through the darkness, revealing higher truths and new possibilities. The mental impurities that once clouded our vision are washed away, and we begin to see the world and ourselves with greater clarity. This is the stage of refinement, where the mind becomes more attuned to the vibrations of higher thought. The doubts, fears, and limitations that once seemed so real begin to dissolve, replaced by thoughts of possibility, hope, and inner strength. In the albedo stage, the alchemist's mind is purified and prepared for the reception of higher wisdom. This is a time of mental clarity, where the thoughts we hold become more aligned with our true nature. It is here that we begin to see the potential for transformation, as the mind becomes a clear vessel for the divine. The old structures that once held us back have been dissolved, and the new thoughts that arise are infused with the light of higher consciousness. The final stage of mental transmutation is rubedo, where the purified elements of thought are brought into harmony and integrated into the whole of the self. In this stage, the alchemical process reaches its completion, as the mind, body, and spirit are unified in a state of balance and enlightenment. The thoughts that once limited us are now fully transmuted into thoughts of empowerment, joy, and divine purpose. The alchemist, having undergone the trials of purification, emerges from the process transformed, carrying within them the gold of higher wisdom. In rubedo, the alchemist is no longer divided between the conscious and subconscious, the higher and lower self. The mind is fully integrated, its elements balanced and aligned with the universal laws of creation. This is the state of mental mastery, where the alchemist becomes a living embodiment of the philosopher's stone, the purified and perfected mind that is capable of shaping reality in accordance with divine will. It is in this stage that we realize the full potential of the mind to create, to transform, and to manifest the highest expression of our being. To begin your own process of mental transmutation, I invite you to engage in a practice of thought purification. Start by identifying a belief or thought pattern that has been holding you back, one that you know is limiting your growth or keeping you bound to a lower vibration. This could be a belief about your self-worth, your capabilities, or your relationships with others. Once you have identified this thought, begin the process of dissolution, allowing yourself to see the thought for what it truly is, an illusion created by the mind. As you bring this thought into the light of awareness, ask yourself, is this thought aligned with my highest truth? Does it reflect the divine potential that exists within me, or does it limit my ability to grow and evolve? By questioning the validity of the thought, you begin the process of mental alchemy, breaking down the old structures that no longer serve you. Once the thought has been dissolved, replace it with a new, higher thought, one that reflects the truth of your divine nature. For example, if the old thought was, I am not good enough, the new thought might be, I am worthy of all the love and abundance the universe has to offer. Over time, as you continue this practice, you will notice a shift in the way your mind operates. The old, limiting thoughts will dissolve more easily, and the new, empowering thoughts will take root. This is the work of mental transmutation, the process of refining the mind and bringing it into alignment with the higher laws of the universe. As you purify your thoughts, you will find that your external reality begins to shift as well, reflecting the inner transformation that is taking place. The journey of mental alchemy is not a one-time event but an ongoing process of refinement and evolution. Just as the alchemist works tirelessly in the laboratory to perfect their craft, so too must we work continuously to refine our minds, dissolving the impurities of thought and transmuting them into higher states of consciousness. The goal is not perfection, but progress, the steady movement toward greater clarity, wisdom, and inner peace. As we continue this journey, we will explore the next step in the alchemical process, the law of vibration, which teaches us how to shift our mental states to align with higher frequencies and attract the experiences we desire. The work of mental transmutation is not complete until we learn how to raise the vibration of our thoughts, for it is through this vibrational shift that we truly begin to manifest the life of our highest potential. Chapter 3. The Law of Vibration, Shifting Mental States. The universe, in its infinite wisdom, operates through laws that are both subtle and profound. Among these laws, the Hermetic principle of vibration holds a unique place, for it teaches us that everything in existence, whether physical, mental, or spiritual, is in constant motion. Nothing rests. From the smallest atom to the farthest star, from our thoughts to the deepest layers of consciousness, all things vibrate at varying frequencies. It is through this universal law that the ancient sages understood the power of thought and its ability to shape reality. In the realm of mental transformation, the law of vibration serves as the key to shifting our inner and outer experiences. Every thought we hold, every belief we nurture, carries a vibrational frequency that interacts with the world around us. When we dwell in lower vibrational states, such as fear, doubt, or anger, we attract experiences that mirror these frequencies. Conversely, when we elevate our mental vibrations through thoughts of love, joy, and wisdom, we draw to ourselves circumstances that reflect this higher state of being. The mastery of the mind, therefore, is not only about controlling our thoughts but about consciously raising their vibration to align with the reality we wish to create. To understand this more deeply, let us consider the nature of vibration itself. In the physical world, vibration can be observed in sound waves, the movement of particles, and the flow of energy. In the same way, our thoughts emit vibrational waves that ripple through the etheric realms, affecting not only our internal state but also the energy we project into the world. This is why it is said that like attracts like. Thoughts of a particular frequency will naturally attract experiences of the same frequency. This is not mere philosophy. It is a fundamental law of the cosmos, as real and as powerful as the law of gravity. Yet, how often do we allow our thoughts to remain in lower vibrational states, unaware of the influence they have over our lives? Many people drift through life, reacting to external circumstances without realizing that their mental vibrations are setting the stage for the very experiences they wish to avoid. The law of vibration teaches us that we are not victims of circumstance but active participants in the creation of our reality. By learning to shift our mental states, we gain the ability to rise above the limitations of the material world and attract the higher experiences that resonate with our soul's true desires. The first step in working with the law of vibration is to become aware of your current mental frequency. What thoughts occupy your mind on a daily basis? Are they thoughts of love, peace, and possibility, or are they filled with fear, doubt, and limitation? The vibrational frequency of your thoughts will directly influence the experiences you attract into your life. For example, if you consistently think thoughts of scarcity, believing that there is not enough money, love, or opportunity to go around, you will find yourself in situations that reflect this belief. On the other hand, if you cultivate thoughts of abundance, knowing that the universe is limitless and that you are deserving of its gifts, you will begin to attract opportunities and experiences that resonate with this higher frequency. To shift your mental vibration, you must first make a conscious choice to do so. This is not a passive process but an active engagement with your thoughts and emotions. Begin by identifying the vibrational state of any negative or limiting thought you hold. Ask yourself, what is the frequency of this thought? Does it feel heavy, dense, or restrictive? These are signs that the thought is vibrating at a lower frequency, one that is out of alignment with your higher self. Once you have identified the vibrational state of the thought, make the decision to raise its frequency. One powerful method for shifting mental states is through the use of visualization. The mind responds deeply to images, and by creating a mental image of yourself tuning into a higher frequency, you can begin to shift your vibrational state almost instantly. Imagine that your mind is like a radio dial, capable of tuning into different frequencies. When you find yourself dwelling in lower thoughts, visualize yourself turning the dial upward, moving from a lower frequency to a higher one. As you do this, picture yourself surrounded by a radiant, golden light, a light that represents the higher vibrations of love, wisdom, and peace. Allow this light to fill your mind, dissolving any lower vibrations and replacing them with thoughts of a higher frequency. Another technique for raising your mental vibration is to work with affirmations. Affirmations are positive statements that, when repeated consistently, help to reprogram the mind and elevate its frequency. Choose an affirmation that resonates with the vibrational state you wish to cultivate, such as, "I am aligned with the highest vibrations of love and abundance," or, "I attract experiences that reflect my inner joy and peace." As you repeat this affirmation, feel the words resonate within you, as if each word is sending out a vibrational pulse that harmonizes your mind with the frequencies of the universe. In addition to visualization and affirmations, the breath is a powerful tool for shifting mental states. In many esoteric traditions, the breath is seen as the bridge between the mind and the body, the vehicle through which life force energy, prana or chi, flows. By using conscious breathwork, you can raise your mental vibration and align your thoughts with higher frequencies. To do this, begin by taking slow, deep breaths, allowing the inhale to fill your lungs completely and the exhale to release any tension or negativity. As you breathe, imagine that you are inhaling pure light, the light of higher consciousness, and exhaling any thoughts or emotions that no longer serve you. With each breath, feel your vibration rising, as if you are ascending to a higher plane of awareness. As you practice these techniques, you will begin to notice a shift in the way you experience the world. The challenges that once seemed overwhelming will lose their power over you, and new opportunities will begin to present themselves in unexpected ways. This is the magic of the law of vibration. By raising the frequency of your thoughts, you change the frequency of the reality you attract. It is important to understand that the process of shifting mental states is not about suppressing or denying negative thoughts. Negative thoughts and emotions are part of the human experience, and they serve a purpose in our growth. The goal is not to eliminate them but to transmute them, to raise their vibration so that they no longer hold us in a state of limitation. This is the essence of mental alchemy, the ability to take the raw material of thought and refine it into something higher, something more aligned with our true nature. The law of vibration reminds us that we are not passive observers of the universe but active creators. By mastering the vibrations of our thoughts, we gain the power to shape our reality in accordance with the highest truths. This is the path of the alchemist, the path of transformation, where the mind becomes a tool for manifesting the divine within the material world. As we move forward on this journey, the next principle we will explore is the Hermetic law of polarity, which teaches us how to balance the dualities of the mind and bring harmony to the conflicting forces within us. The work of mental transformation is not complete until we learn to reconcile the opposites, for it is through this balance that we achieve true mastery over the mind. Chapter 4. The Power of Polarity, Balancing the Dualities of the Mind. In the grand architecture of the universe, everything exists in pairs of opposites. Light and darkness, heat and cold, love and fear, life and death. These dualities define our experience in the physical world. The Hermetic principle of polarity teaches us that these pairs are not separate entities but different manifestations of the same underlying truth. All things, no matter how opposite they appear, are connected by a continuum, a spectrum along which they shift and transform. This principle is the key to understanding the dualities within our own minds and mastering the art of mental balance. To truly grasp the power of polarity, one must first recognize that the mind itself operates within this dynamic. Every thought, every emotion, every state of being contains within it the seed of its opposite. Love, for example, exists on the same continuum as fear. They are simply different degrees of the same energy. In the same way, courage and doubt are polar expressions of the same mental force. The key to mental mastery lies in learning how to move along this continuum, to shift from one pole to the other at will, and to find balance between the extremes. The ancient sages understood that the greatest transformations occur not through the suppression of one pole in favor of the other but through the reconciliation and integration of opposites. This is the alchemical marriage, the union of dualities within the mind that leads to inner harmony and spiritual growth. In the esoteric traditions, this union is often symbolized by the merging of masculine and feminine energies, the blending of light and shadow, or the fusion of spirit and matter. The work of the alchemist is to bring these opposites into balance, not by eradicating one side of the spectrum but by acknowledging and integrating both. In our daily lives, we often experience the push and pull of these polarities in the form of internal conflict. We may feel torn between desire and fear, between action and hesitation, between hope and doubt. These mental dualities create tension within us, pulling us in different directions and making it difficult to move forward with clarity and purpose. The Hermetic principle of polarity teaches us that this tension is not something to be feared or resisted but something to be embraced. It is through the conscious balancing of these polar forces that we can achieve mental equilibrium and inner peace. To begin the process of balancing the polarities of the mind, we must first develop an awareness of the dualities that exist within us. This requires introspection and reflection, an honest examination of our thoughts and emotions. Where do we experience internal conflict? What opposing forces are at play within us? Are we more aligned with one pole than the other, or do we swing between extremes? By becoming aware of these mental polarities, we begin the work of bringing them into balance. One of the most powerful tools for balancing mental polarities is the practice of mental transmutation, a concept deeply rooted in Hermetic and alchemical teachings. Mental transmutation involves shifting from one pole of a mental state to its opposite by recognizing that both are part of the same continuum. For example, if we are experiencing fear, we can transmute that fear into love by understanding that fear is simply a lower vibration of the same energy that manifests as love. By focusing on thoughts and feelings of love, we can raise the vibrational frequency of our fear and shift our mental state toward a higher expression of that energy. To practice mental transmutation, begin by identifying a mental polarity that you wish to work with. This could be any pair of opposites: fear and courage, doubt and certainty, anger and peace. Once you have identified the polarity, take a moment to reflect on which pole you are currently experiencing. Are you feeling fearful, doubtful, or angry? Acknowledge this state without judgment, recognizing that it is simply one side of the continuum. Then, consciously choose to shift your focus to the opposite pole. If you are feeling fearful, focus your attention on thoughts and feelings of courage. If you are feeling doubtful, bring to mind moments when you felt certain and confident. As you shift your focus, use visualization to help facilitate the transmutation. Imagine that the energy of your current mental state is like a pendulum, swinging between the two poles. With each breath, visualize the pendulum moving toward the opposite pole, gradually bringing your mental state into balance. As you continue this practice, you will find that the intensity of the lower pole begins to fade, replaced by a sense of equilibrium and inner peace. Another important aspect of the principle of polarity is the understanding that opposites are complementary, not antagonistic. While it may seem that light and darkness, love and fear, or success and failure are in conflict with one another, they are in fact part of the same whole. The light cannot exist without the dark, just as love cannot exist without the possibility of fear. The dualities we experience in life are not meant to be conquered or eliminated but embraced as part of the natural flow of existence. This concept is beautifully illustrated in the ancient symbol of the yin and yang, where two seemingly opposing forces are shown to be interconnected and interdependent. The black and white halves of the symbol represent opposing energies, yet within each half lies a seed of its opposite. This teaches us that within every state of being, no matter how extreme, there is the potential for transformation. By recognizing this inherent balance, we can learn to navigate the polarities of the mind with grace and wisdom, allowing each experience to guide us toward greater self-awareness and inner harmony. In addition to mental transmutation, another powerful practice for balancing polarity is meditation. By cultivating a state of inner stillness, we create space for the mind to settle, allowing the opposing forces within us to come into alignment. In meditation, we move beyond the dualities of the mind, entering a state of pure awareness where the illusion of separation dissolves. This state of unity consciousness allows us to see the deeper truth that all opposites are part of the same whole, and that the balance we seek is already within us. As you deepen your practice of balancing polarity, you will begin to notice a shift in the way you experience the world. The internal conflicts that once seemed insurmountable will lose their power, and you will find yourself moving through life with a greater sense of clarity, purpose, and peace. This is the gift of polarity, the ability to integrate and harmonize the opposing forces within us, transforming inner conflict into inner harmony. The mastery of polarity is not about eliminating one side of the spectrum but about learning to move freely between the poles, finding balance in the midst of duality. This is the essence of mental alchemy, the ability to transmute lower states of mind into higher ones and to navigate the polarities of life with wisdom and grace. As we move forward, the next step in our journey of mental transformation is to explore the alchemy of emotions. Just as thoughts carry a vibrational frequency, so too do our emotions, and by learning to transmute emotional energy, we can further refine our mental and spiritual state. The work of the alchemist is never complete, for there is always another layer to uncover, another polarity to balance, and another emotion to transmute. Chapter 5. The Alchemy of Emotions, Transforming Emotional Energy. Emotions, like thoughts, are powerful forces within the human experience. They are the currents that run through the mind and body, shaping our perceptions, our actions, and our very sense of reality. The ancient alchemists, in their pursuit of spiritual transformation, understood that emotions are not merely reactive states but energetic frequencies that can be refined, elevated, and transmuted. To master the mind, one must also master the emotions, for they are inextricably linked, each influencing and reinforcing the other. In the realm of esoteric wisdom, the alchemy of emotions is seen as a critical step in the journey toward mental and spiritual enlightenment. In the same way that alchemists sought to transmute base metals into gold, we too can transmute our base emotional states into higher, more refined expressions of being. Emotions such as fear, anger, and sadness, while natural and important, are often considered lower vibrational energies. Left unchecked, these emotions can cloud the mind, distort our perception, and anchor us in states of limitation. The work of emotional alchemy is not about repressing or ignoring these emotions, but about transforming them into higher vibrational states such as love, peace, and compassion. This process requires awareness, patience, and the willingness to engage with our emotions on a deep, transformative level. The first step in the alchemy of emotions is recognition. Too often, we move through life without fully acknowledging the emotions that arise within us. We may suppress them, distract ourselves, or become so caught up in the outer world that we fail to recognize the emotional currents that shape our internal landscape. Yet, as with all alchemical processes, Transformation begins with awareness. To transmute our emotional energy, we must first be willing to face it, to observe it without judgment, and to understand its source. When a strong emotion arises, whether it be fear, anger, or sadness, pause for a moment. Instead of reacting impulsively or trying to push the emotion away, allow yourself to sit with it. Acknowledge its presence and its intensity. Where in your body do you feel this emotion? How does it affect your thoughts, your breathing, and your sense of self? By bringing your full awareness to the emotion, you are already beginning the process of alchemy, for it is only through conscious attention that transformation can occur. Once you have acknowledged the emotion, the next step is to understand its vibrational frequency. Every emotion, like every thought, carries a specific vibration. Lower emotions such as fear, anger, and guilt vibrate at a slower, denser frequency, while higher emotions such as love, joy, and compassion vibrate at a faster, lighter frequency. The key to emotional alchemy is raising the vibration of the lower emotions, not by denying them, but by transmuting their energy into higher expressions of the same emotional force. Consider the emotion of fear. Fear, in its lower vibrational state, can be paralyzing, preventing us from taking action or seeing clearly. Yet fear, when transmuted, can become courage, the very energy that propels us forward in the face of uncertainty. The alchemy of fear into courage is not about eliminating fear but about shifting its vibration, transforming it from a state of contraction into one of expansion. Similarly, anger, when transmuted, can become empowerment. Sadness, when refined, can become compassion. Each emotion carries within it the seed of its higher expression, and the work of emotional alchemy is to bring that higher expression to the surface. To practice emotional transmutation, begin by identifying the emotion you wish to work with. As with mental transmutation, this requires an honest examination of your emotional state. Once you have identified the emotion, allow yourself to feel it fully, without resistance. Breathe deeply into the emotion, bringing your awareness to its energy. Where in your body does this emotion reside? What thoughts or memories are associated with it? By bringing your attention to the emotion, you are initiating the process of transformation. Next, ask yourself, what is the higher expression of this emotion? If you are feeling fear, imagine what it would feel like to transform that fear into courage. If you are feeling anger, visualize that anger being transmuted into a sense of personal empowerment. If you are feeling sadness, allow yourself to experience the compassion that arises from deep emotional sensitivity. As you focus on the higher expression of the emotion, imagine that its energy is shifting, rising in frequency. Visualize the emotional energy becoming lighter, more fluid, and more aligned with your higher self. Breathwork is a powerful tool for facilitating this transformation. As you breathe into the emotion, imagine that each inhale is drawing in light and higher vibrations, and each exhale is releasing the denser, lower vibrations of the emotion. With each breath, feel the energy of the emotion becoming more refined, more elevated. Continue this process until you feel a shift in your emotional state, a sense of lightness, clarity, or peace. Another practice that can aid in the alchemy of emotions is the use of sound. In many esoteric traditions, sound is considered a powerful medium for raising vibration. Chanting, toning, or even listening to specific frequencies, such as solfeggio tones, can help shift the vibrational state of emotions. If you are working with a particularly intense emotion, try using your voice to release the energy. Begin by taking a deep breath, and as you exhale, make a sound that resonates with the emotion. This could be a hum, a chant, or even a simple tone. As you vocalize the sound, imagine that you are releasing the lower vibrations of the emotion, allowing them to transform into higher frequencies. As you continue this practice of emotional alchemy, you will begin to notice a profound shift in the way you relate to your emotions. No longer will you be at the mercy of emotional reactions. Instead, you will develop the ability to engage with your emotions consciously, using them as tools for growth and transformation. The lower emotions that once held you in states of fear, anger, or sadness will become opportunities for transmutation, allowing you to experience their higher expressions in the form of courage, empowerment, and compassion. It is important to remember that emotional alchemy is not about bypassing or suppressing emotions. All emotions serve a purpose, and even the lower emotions have valuable lessons to teach us. The key is not to resist these emotions but to work with them, to acknowledge their presence and then elevate their vibration. This is the path of the alchemist, the path of transformation, where every experience, whether joyful or painful, becomes an opportunity for spiritual growth. As you refine your ability to transmute emotional energy, you will find that your emotional states become more balanced, more harmonious. You will experience less emotional volatility, and your mind will become clearer and more focused. This emotional clarity will, in turn, enhance your mental alchemy, for the mind and emotions are deeply interconnected. When the emotions are in harmony, the mind is free to operate at its highest potential, creating a powerful synergy that propels you forward on your journey of personal and spiritual transformation. As we move forward, the next chapter will explore the esoteric anatomy of the mind and the different planes of consciousness that shape our experience of reality. The alchemy of emotions is an essential part of this journey, for it is through the refinement of our emotional energy that we gain access to higher states of awareness and deeper levels of spiritual insight. Chapter 6: The Esoteric Anatomy of the Mind, Mapping the Mental Planes. The mind, much like the universe itself, is vast and layered, containing realms of consciousness that are not immediately visible to the everyday awareness. In the esoteric traditions, the mind is understood to operate on multiple levels or planes, each corresponding to different states of consciousness and different aspects of reality. The ancients described these planes as distinct but interconnected, forming a bridge between the material world and the higher spiritual realms. To navigate these mental planes is to journey through the inner dimensions of the self, accessing deeper layers of wisdom, insight, and spiritual truth. In Hermeticism, Kabbalah, and other esoteric systems, these planes are often likened to ascending rungs of a ladder, with the lowest planes representing the mundane, material aspects of thought, and the higher planes corresponding to divine consciousness and spiritual realization. Just as the physical body has its anatomy, with systems and organs that function in harmony to sustain life, so too does the mind have its own subtle anatomy, a complex structure of energies and frequencies that shape our perception of reality. The lowest of these mental planes is the conscious mind, the aspect of mind that we engage with in our daily lives. It is here that we deliberate, analyze, and make decisions. This plane is highly active, processing information from the external world and reacting to stimuli in real time. The conscious mind is critical to our survival in the material world, but it is only the tip of the iceberg. Beneath the surface lies the subconscious mind, a much larger and more mysterious realm where memories, beliefs, and patterns are stored. The subconscious mind governs much of our behavior, often without our conscious awareness, influencing our decisions, reactions, and emotions. The subconscious mind, while powerful, is not the deepest layer of the mental anatomy. Beyond it lies the superconscious mind, the seat of divine wisdom, intuition, and spiritual insight. This is the realm of higher consciousness, where the soul connects with the universal mind, and where the alchemist can access the deeper truths of existence. To master the mind, one must learn to navigate all three of these planes, harmonizing them and bringing them into alignment with the higher self. The esoteric anatomy of the mind also includes what is known as the etheric or astral body, a subtle energy field that exists alongside the physical body and serves as a conduit for the flow of mental and spiritual energy. In many mystical traditions, the etheric body is seen as the link between the physical and the spiritual, a bridge that allows consciousness to travel between worlds. It is through the etheric body that the mind can access the higher planes of existence, and it is through this body that the alchemist can project their consciousness beyond the limitations of the material world. To begin working with the esoteric anatomy of the mind, it is important to first develop an awareness of these different planes of consciousness and how they interact. The conscious mind, while essential, is limited by the filters of the subconscious, which often distort our perception of reality. These filters are the result of past experiences, ingrained beliefs, and emotional conditioning. When we operate solely from the conscious mind, we are often unaware of the deeper forces that are shaping our thoughts, emotions, and actions. The first step in navigating the mental planes is to bring awareness to the subconscious mind, to recognize the patterns and beliefs that reside there, and to begin the process of purification and refinement. This is where the work of mental alchemy becomes essential, for it is through the transmutation of subconscious patterns that we can elevate our consciousness and access the higher planes. One powerful practice for accessing the subconscious mind is through meditation and visualization. In this practice, begin by sitting in a quiet, comfortable space, free from distractions. Close your eyes and take a few deep breaths, allowing your body and mind to relax. As you breathe, visualize yourself descending a staircase, each step taking you deeper into the layers of your mind. As you reach the bottom of the staircase, imagine that you have entered a vast, dark chamber, the realm of the subconscious. Here, you will encounter the memories, beliefs, and patterns that have shaped your life. Allow yourself to explore this chamber, observing what arises without judgment. What beliefs are stored here? What memories or emotional wounds are influencing your thoughts and behaviors? As you bring these subconscious patterns into the light of awareness, imagine that they are being purified, transmuted into higher frequencies. Visualize them dissolving, replaced by the light of clarity, truth, and wisdom. Once you have explored the subconscious, imagine yourself ascending a new staircase, this time leading upward toward the realm of the superconscious mind. As you climb, feel the energy in your mind becoming lighter, more refined. When you reach the top of the staircase, imagine that you have entered a realm of pure light, where divine wisdom flows freely. Here, you can access the higher planes of consciousness, where intuition and spiritual insight reside. Ask for guidance from your higher self, and allow yourself to receive whatever wisdom or clarity comes through. The practice of traveling through the mental planes in this way allows you to gain greater awareness of the different aspects of your mind and to harmonize them. The more you engage with this practice, the more fluidly you will be able to move between the conscious, subconscious, and superconscious minds, integrating their energies and bringing them into alignment with your highest self. In addition to meditation and visualization, working with symbols is another powerful way to navigate the mental planes. In esoteric traditions, symbols are considered to be gateways to higher consciousness, representing universal truths that transcend the limitations of language and the conscious mind. By meditating on certain symbols, such as the flower of life, the tree of life from Kabbalah, or the Ouroboros, the serpent devouring its own tail, you can activate different aspects of your mind and access deeper layers of understanding. The tree of life, for example, is a symbol used in Kabbalah to represent the different planes of existence and the pathways between them. Each sphere on the tree corresponds to a different level of consciousness, from the earthly realm of Malkuth, the material world, to the divine realm of Kether, the crown of pure consciousness. By meditating on the tree of life, you can map your own journey through the mental planes, identifying where you are on the path and where you need to focus your efforts for further growth and alignment. As you explore the esoteric anatomy of the mind, you will begin to see that each plane of consciousness is interconnected, and that mastery of one plane influences the others. The more you purify and refine your subconscious mind, the more access you will have to the superconscious, and the clearer your conscious mind will become. This is the essence of mental alchemy, the process of harmonizing the different layers of consciousness to create a unified whole. The journey through the mental planes is not a linear one, and it is not a process that can be rushed. It requires patience, dedication, and a willingness to engage with the deeper aspects of your being. But as you continue this journey, you will find that your mind becomes a more powerful tool for creation, insight, and spiritual awakening. The boundaries that once limited your perception of reality will begin to dissolve, and you will gain access to higher states of awareness that were previously beyond your reach. As we continue our exploration of mental transformation, the next chapter will delve into the Gnostic teachings of self-realization and how the mind plays a pivotal role in awakening the divine spark within. The journey of the mind is, ultimately, the journey of the soul, and it is through the mastery of the mind that we come to realize our true nature as beings of infinite wisdom and light. Chapter 7. The Gnostic Wisdom of Self-Realization. In the heart of Gnostic teachings lies a profound truth, that within each of us resides a divine spark, a fragment of the infinite, yearning to be awakened. This spark is our true essence, a direct connection to the divine realms, yet it is often obscured by the layers of illusion and ignorance that cloud the mind. The journey of self-realization in Gnosticism is not merely a quest for knowledge but a deeply personal, spiritual journey toward the awakening of this divine spark, toward recognizing our true identity as beings of light, far beyond the material world. The Gnostics believed that the material world is a veil, a deceptive construct that entraps the soul in forgetfulness, causing us to lose sight of our divine origins. This illusion is perpetuated by the lower mind, which, when dominated by fear, attachment, and ego, keeps us bound to the physical plane. But the higher mind, the seat of the divine spark, contains the key to liberation. It is through the mind that the soul can break free from the constraints of the material world and realize its true nature. In this way, the mind becomes the battleground between ignorance and gnosis, between illusion and divine truth. The word gnosis itself means knowledge, but not knowledge in the conventional sense. It is not the accumulation of facts or intellectual understanding. Gnosis is direct, experiential knowledge of the divine, an inner knowing that transcends the mind's usual limitations. It is through gnosis that the soul remembers its divine origin and its true purpose. This is the process of self-realization, where the layers of illusion are stripped away, and the divine spark within us is revealed in all its brilliance. The journey toward gnosis begins with the mind, for it is the mind that holds both the keys to our liberation and the chains of our bondage. In its lower state, the mind is easily swayed by the illusions of the material world. It becomes entangled in desire, attachment, and fear, leading us to believe that we are separate from the divine, that we are powerless, or that we are defined by the circumstances of our physical existence. But the higher mind, the mind that is attuned to the divine, operates from a place of clarity, wisdom, and inner peace. It sees beyond the illusions of the material world and recognizes the divine spark within. To awaken this higher mind and begin the process of self-realization, we must first cultivate the practice of inner reflection. Gnosis is not something that can be taught or acquired externally. It is an inner awakening that comes from direct experience. This experience often begins with a question, a moment of deep introspection where we ask ourselves, who am I, truly? What is the essence of my being beyond the roles, labels, and identities I have been conditioned to accept? What lies beneath the surface of my thoughts, emotions, and physical existence? These questions are the doorway to self-realization, for they invite us to look beyond the outer layers of our existence and seek the truth that lies within. As we engage in this process of self-inquiry, we begin to peel back the layers of illusion that have kept us bound to a limited understanding of ourselves. We start to see that the thoughts, emotions, and experiences that once defined us are, in fact, transient and impermanent. They are not the essence of who we are. Beneath them lies something far more enduring, something divine and eternal. As we continue this inner exploration, we begin to experience moments of clarity, glimpses of the divine spark within. These moments of insight are often subtle, arising not from the intellect but from a deeper, more intuitive part of ourselves. It is as if a light is being turned on within us, illuminating the path to our true nature. This is the beginning of Gnosis, the first step toward the realization that we are not separate from the divine but are, in fact, expressions of it. To deepen this process of self-realization, the Gnostic tradition teaches the importance of cultivating inner stillness. The mind, when caught in the turbulence of thoughts and emotions, cannot perceive the divine. It is only in the stillness of the mind that the truth of our being can be revealed. Meditation is one of the most powerful tools for quieting the mind and accessing the higher states of consciousness where Gnosis can arise. In meditation, we withdraw our attention from the outer world and turn inward, focusing on the divine spark within. A simple but profound meditation practice for awakening Gnosis is to sit quietly, with the spine straight and the eyes gently closed. Begin by focusing on the breath, allowing the mind to become calm and centered. Once the mind has settled, bring your awareness to the center of your chest, to the heart chakra. Visualize a small, radiant light at the center of your being. This is the divine spark, the essence of your true self. As you focus on this light, feel it grow brighter and more expansive with each breath. Allow yourself to merge with this light, recognizing that it is not separate from you but is the very core of your being. In this state of union, simply rest in the awareness of your divine nature, letting go of all thoughts, labels, and identities. As you continue this practice, you may begin to experience moments of profound inner peace and clarity. These moments are signs that the layers of illusion are dissolving, and that the divine spark within you is becoming more fully awakened. Over time, this inner knowing, this Gnosis, will become more constant, guiding you in your thoughts, actions, and decisions. You will begin to live from a place of divine wisdom, no longer bound by the limitations of the material world. The process of self-realization is not an instant transformation but a gradual unfolding. As we move deeper into Gnosis, we may still encounter moments of doubt, fear, or confusion, but these moments are opportunities for further growth. Each time we face a challenge or a difficult emotion, we are given the chance to return to the truth of who we are, to reconnect with the divine spark and remember our higher purpose. In this way, the challenges of life become the very catalysts for our spiritual awakening. In the Gnostic tradition, this journey of self-realization is often described as the path of the initiate. It is a path of inner transformation, where the soul moves from ignorance to enlightenment, from illusion to truth. Along the way, we shed the false identities and limiting beliefs that have kept us bound to the lower mind, and we embrace the wisdom of the higher mind, which knows that we are, and have always been, divine beings. This is the ultimate goal of Gnosis, not simply to know intellectually but to experience directly, to live from a place of divine truth. As we move forward on this journey, the next chapter will explore the power of visualization as a tool for mental and spiritual transformation. Just as the mind can be a source of illusion, it can also be a powerful instrument for creation when used consciously. Through the practice of visualization, we can shape our reality in alignment with the divine spark within, manifesting the highest expression of our being. Chapter 8. Visualization as the Architect of Reality. In the labyrinth of the mind lies one of the most potent tools for transformation, the power of visualization. Esoteric traditions, from Hermeticism to Gnosticism, have long understood that the mind's creative faculties are capable of shaping both the inner and outer worlds. Visualization is the bridge between the formless realms of thought and the manifest world of experience. It is through the conscious use of mental imagery that we can bring forth desired outcomes, align ourselves with higher truths, and actively participate in the unfolding of our destiny. The mind is not a passive observer of reality, it is an active creator. The images we hold in our minds, whether conscious or unconscious, have a profound influence on our experiences. Every thought, every mental picture, sends out a vibrational frequency that interacts with the universal energy field, attracting experiences, people, and circumstances that resonate with that frequency. In this way, visualization is a form of mental alchemy, a process through which we transmute invisible ideas into tangible realities. To fully understand the power of visualization, one must first recognize the mind's natural tendency to create images. The mind, by its very nature, thinks in pictures. Even abstract thoughts, such as success or happiness, are often accompanied by mental images that represent these concepts. This is the language of the subconscious mind, which communicates through symbols, images, and metaphor. By consciously harnessing this natural ability, we can direct the creative power of the mind toward our highest goals and aspirations. The process of visualization begins with intention. What is it that you wish to create, experience, or transform? The clearer your intention, the more powerful your visualization will be. In the realm of esoteric wisdom, it is understood that the universe responds not just to vague desires but to focused, intentional thought. When we visualize with clarity and purpose, we are aligning our mental energy with the universal laws of creation, sending out a clear signal that attracts the desired outcome into our lives. One of the most important aspects of visualization is the ability to engage the senses. The more vividly you can imagine your desired outcome, the more real it becomes in the mind, and the more magnetic your energy becomes in attracting it. When visualizing, it is essential to see, feel, hear, and even smell and taste the reality you are creating. The more fully you engage your senses, the more your mind will accept the visualization as real, and the more powerfully it will work to bring that reality into manifestation. For example, if you are visualizing a state of inner peace, do not simply imagine the word peace in your mind. Instead, picture yourself in a serene environment, perhaps sitting by a calm body of water or walking through a tranquil forest. Feel the warmth of the sun on your skin, hear the gentle rustling of leaves in the breeze, and sense the deep calm that settles over you. The more vividly you can imagine this peaceful state, the more your mind will align with the frequency of peace, and the more you will begin to experience it in your daily life. Visualization can also be used to transform specific aspects of your life, whether they are related to health, relationships, career, or spiritual growth. If you are seeking to improve your physical health, for example, you can use visualization to send healing energy to the areas of your body that need attention. Imagine a bright, healing light flowing through your body, cleansing and restoring each cell, and see yourself as strong, healthy, and vibrant. By visualizing this state of health, you are not only reinforcing the belief that healing is possible, but you are also directing your body's energy toward this outcome. In the realm of spiritual growth, visualization is a powerful tool for connecting with higher states of consciousness. Many esoteric traditions use specific symbols, such as mandalas, sacred geometry, or the tree of life, to help practitioners access deeper levels of awareness. By focusing on these symbols during meditation or visualization, we can attune our minds to the vibrational frequencies they represent, allowing us to access the wisdom and insights encoded within them. For example, In the Kabbalistic tradition, the tree of life is a powerful symbol that represents the various levels of consciousness and the pathways between them. By visualizing yourself ascending the tree of life, moving from one sphere, or sephirot, to the next, you can symbolically journey through the different planes of existence, gaining insights into your spiritual path and your connection to the divine. This type of visualization can help you transcend the limitations of the material world and access the higher realms of wisdom and truth. Another powerful application of visualization is in the practice of manifestation. The Hermetic principle of mentalism teaches us that all is mind, and therefore, the thoughts we hold in our minds have the power to shape our reality. By using visualization to focus on the outcomes we desire, we are aligning our mental energy with the creative forces of the universe, drawing those outcomes into being. However, it is essential to remember that true manifestation is not just about visualizing what we want. It is about aligning our thoughts, emotions, and actions with the frequency of that desire. When visualizing for manifestation, it is important to feel as if your desired outcome has already come to pass. This is where the power of emotion comes into play. The universe responds not just to the images we hold in our minds but to the emotions that accompany those images. When you visualize with feelings of joy, gratitude, and excitement, you are amplifying the magnetic power of your visualization, making it more likely to manifest in your life. Conversely, if you visualize from a place of lack, fear, or desperation, you may inadvertently reinforce the very circumstances you are trying to change. To enhance your manifestation practice, try this simple yet powerful exercise. Begin by identifying a specific goal or desire that you wish to manifest. Once you have clarity on your intention, close your eyes and take a few deep breaths, allowing your mind to relax. As you breathe, imagine that you are entering a sacred space, a place where all possibilities exist. This could be a garden, a temple, or any environment that feels peaceful and aligned with your highest self. In this space, visualize your desired outcome as if it has already come to fruition. See yourself living in this new reality, whether it is a new job, a loving relationship, or a state of inner peace. Engage all of your senses, and most importantly, allow yourself to feel the emotions that come with this new reality. Feel the joy, the gratitude, the excitement of having already achieved your goal. Let these emotions fill your entire being, and hold on to this feeling as you continue to visualize. As you bring this visualization to a close, take a moment to express gratitude to the universe for bringing your desired outcome into being. Trust that the process is already in motion, and release any attachment to how or when it will manifest. This sense of trust and surrender is key to allowing the universe to work its magic. Visualization, when practiced consistently and with intention, can become a powerful tool for both spiritual and material transformation. It allows us to actively participate in the creation of our reality, aligning our mental energy with the highest frequencies of the universe. Yet, it is important to remember that visualization is not a magic trick. It is a practice that requires focus, patience, and alignment. The more we cultivate this practice, the more we will come to realize that we are not merely passive observers of life but active creators of our destiny. As we move forward on this journey of mental mastery, the next chapter will explore the importance of mental discipline and willpower in achieving lasting transformation. Visualization is a powerful tool, but it must be coupled with focus, intention, and action if we are to manifest the highest expression of our being. Chapter 9. Mental Discipline and Esoteric Willpower. In the grand architecture of personal transformation, few things are more essential than mental discipline and willpower. While the mind holds incredible creative potential, it is only through the focused application of that potential that true transformation can occur. The ancient sages understood that the mastery of the mind requires more than knowledge or insight. It demands a disciplined will, a deliberate and sustained effort to direct the mind toward higher purposes. Without mental discipline, the power of the mind remains scattered and diffuse, unable to manifest the profound changes we seek. Mental discipline, at its core, is the ability to control and direct one's thoughts and mental energy. In esoteric traditions, this discipline is often likened to the work of a sculptor, carefully shaping raw material into a refined and perfected form. The mind is the material, and through the force of will, we can mold our thoughts, beliefs, and perceptions into something that reflects our highest aspirations. But this is not a passive process. It requires constant awareness, effort, and the conscious exercise of willpower. The concept of willpower in esoteric traditions goes far beyond the ordinary understanding of persistence or determination. Willpower is viewed as a fundamental force of creation, the divine energy that drives the evolution of consciousness. It is through willpower that we align our individual will with the higher will of the universe, channeling this force to achieve both spiritual and material goals. In alchemical and hermetic teachings, willpower is considered the dynamic force that enables the mind to move from lower states of consciousness to higher ones, to transmute base thoughts into enlightened wisdom. Yet, despite its power, will is not something that comes easily to most. The untrained mind is like a wild horse, running in all directions without focus or purpose. To cultivate willpower, we must first tame the mind, learning to bring it under conscious control. This process begins with awareness, becoming mindful of where our thoughts naturally tend to drift. Are they aligned with our higher goals, or do they wander aimlessly through trivial matters, distractions, and negativity? Mental discipline is about recognizing these patterns and actively redirecting the mind when it strays from its purpose. A powerful practice for developing mental discipline is the exercise of concentration. Concentration is the ability to focus the mind on a single point of attention without distraction. It is the foundation of all mental and spiritual practices, for without concentration, the mind cannot harness its full power. In esoteric traditions, concentration is often cultivated through meditation, visualization, or the practice of tritaka, a focused gaze on a single object, such as a candle flame or a sacred symbol. To practice concentration, begin by choosing a point of focus. This could be a candle flame, a crystal, or even an abstract image in your mind. Set a timer for 5 to 10 minutes, and during that time, allow your mind to focus entirely on the object of your concentration. If your mind begins to wander, gently bring it back to the point of focus, without judgment or frustration. The goal is not to achieve perfect concentration immediately, but to train the mind to return to the object of attention whenever it strays. As you practice concentration, you will find that your ability to control your thoughts improves. The mind becomes less reactive, less easily distracted, and more aligned with your higher intentions. Over time, this mental discipline will extend into other areas of your life, allowing you to approach challenges, goals, and spiritual practices with greater clarity and focus. This is the first step in cultivating the willpower necessary for lasting transformation. Once the mind has been trained in concentration, we can begin to work with the higher aspect of willpower, the force of intention. Intention is the conscious direction of mental energy toward a specific goal or outcome. It is through intention that we set the course for our lives, aligning our thoughts, emotions, and actions with the outcomes we desire. In the realm of esoteric wisdom, intention is considered a sacred act, for it is through intention that we co-create with the divine, bringing the unseen into manifestation. However, intention without willpower is like a ship without a sail. It may know its destination, but it lacks the force to move forward. Willpower is what drives the intention, giving it the strength to overcome obstacles and resistance. In this sense, willpower is not just about persistence. It is about maintaining a clear and unwavering focus on the desired outcome, regardless of external circumstances. To cultivate this level of willpower, it is essential to develop a practice of mental endurance. Mental endurance is the ability to maintain focus and intention over time, even in the face of difficulty or distraction. This requires patience, persistence, and a deep commitment to the process of transformation. In esoteric traditions, mental endurance is often developed through long-term spiritual practices, such as meditation, prayer, or ritual, where the practitioner consistently engages with a specific intention or goal over an extended period. A simple but effective practice for building mental endurance is to choose a specific goal or intention and commit to focusing on it every day for a set period, whether it be a week, a month, or longer. During this time, make it a daily practice to meditate on your intention, visualize its manifestation, and align your thoughts and actions with it. The key is consistency. By returning to your intention day after day, you strengthen the force of your will and build the mental endurance needed to achieve your goal. As you cultivate mental endurance, you will begin to notice a shift in the way you approach challenges and obstacles. Instead of being easily swayed by external circumstances or inner doubts, you will find that your willpower becomes more resilient, more steadfast. This is the essence of esoteric willpower, the ability to remain focused and aligned with your higher purpose, regardless of the challenges that arise. In addition to concentration and endurance, another key aspect of mental discipline is detachment. Detachment does not mean apathy or indifference. Rather, it is the ability to maintain a clear focus on your goal without becoming overly attached to the outcome. In esoteric teachings, attachment to outcomes is seen as a form of bondage, for it ties the mind to the material world and its fluctuations. True willpower is not concerned with the specifics of how or when an outcome will manifest. It is focused solely on maintaining alignment with the higher will and trusting the process of creation. To practice detachment, begin by setting your intention with clarity and focus, but then release any attachment to how that intention will manifest. Trust that the universe is working in harmony with your will, and allow yourself to remain open to whatever form the manifestation takes. This requires faith, patience, and the ability to surrender control while maintaining a clear sense of direction. As you continue to cultivate mental discipline and willpower, you will find that your mind becomes a powerful instrument for transformation. You will no longer be at the mercy of external circumstances or internal distractions, but instead, you will become the conscious creator of your reality, using the focused force of your mind to bring about the changes you desire. This is the essence of mental mastery, the ability to direct and sustain the mind's energy toward higher purposes, aligning the individual will with the divine will. In the next chapter, we will explore the culmination of this mental alchemy in the concept of the great work, the ultimate goal of inner transformation, where the mind and spirit become unified in the realization of our highest potential. This is the journey of the adept, the path of inner mastery, where the alchemist's work is brought to completion. Chapter 10. The Great Work of the Mind, Achieving Inner Alchemy. The concept of the great work has long been a cornerstone of alchemical and esoteric traditions. It represents the ultimate goal of the adept, the completion of the alchemical process that transforms the base aspects of the self into something pure, enlightened, and divine. But the great work is not merely an external process, nor is it confined to the physical act of turning lead into gold. It is a deeply internal, spiritual journey, one that involves the mastery of the mind and the elevation of consciousness to its highest potential. In the realm of mental alchemy, the great work is the culmination of all efforts to refine, purify, and align the mind with the divine truth, achieving the union of mind, body, and spirit in perfect harmony. To embark on the great work is to engage in a process of inner transformation that touches every aspect of the self. It begins with the recognition that the mind, like raw material, contains within it the potential for greatness, but it must be refined and purified before it can realize its true nature. The mind in its base state is often clouded by illusions, attachments, and distractions that prevent it from seeing clearly or functioning at its highest level. The great work is the process through which these impurities are removed, revealing the mind's inherent divinity and allowing it to operate as a vessel for higher consciousness. The journey of the great work can be likened to the stages of alchemical transformation, which mirror the stages of mental and spiritual refinement. The first stage, known as negredo, or the blackening, represents the initial breakdown of the old self. It is the phase in which we confront the shadow aspects of our mind, the fears, doubts, attachments, and illusions that have kept us bound to a limited perception of reality. This stage is often marked by deep introspection, where we must face the darker parts of ourselves and bring them into conscious awareness. In the mental realm, this process involves the dissolution of limiting beliefs, destructive thought patterns, and false identities. It is a necessary purification, a mental death that clears the way for new growth. As we shed the layers of illusion and ego, we begin to experience a sense of inner freedom, a lightness of being that prepares us for the next stage of transformation. The second stage of the great work is albedo, or the whitening, where the purified mind begins to reflect the light of higher consciousness. This is the stage of mental clarity, where the mind becomes more receptive to divine wisdom and truth. The attachments and illusions that once clouded our perception have been dissolved, and in their place, we begin to cultivate higher thoughts, intentions, and emotions. In this stage, the mind aligns itself with the higher self, operating from a place of love, compassion, and wisdom. The albedo stage is one of integration, where the lessons learned in the negredo phase are synthesized and transformed into new ways of thinking and being. This is where the true work of mental alchemy begins to take shape, as we consciously choose to align our thoughts, actions, and emotions with the highest vibrations of love, truth, and wisdom. It is a time of renewal, where the purified mind becomes a vessel for higher consciousness to flow through, unimpeded by the distractions of the lower self. The third stage of the great work is rubedo, or the reddening, which represents the culmination of the alchemical process and the birth of the enlightened mind. In this stage, the union of opposites is achieved, the mind and spirit become one, and the individual will is fully aligned with the divine will. This is the stage of self-realization, where the mind, having undergone the processes of purification and transformation, now operates from a place of divine wisdom and inner mastery. In the rubedo stage, the mind becomes a tool for creation, able to manifest reality in alignment with the highest truths. This is where the true power of mental alchemy is realized, as the mind, once scattered and unfocused, now operates with precision, clarity, and purpose. The alchemist, having completed the great work, has achieved what is known in esoteric traditions as the philosopher's stone, the perfected state of consciousness that allows the individual to transcend the limitations of the material world and operate from a place of divine power. Yet, the great work is not an end in itself. It is a continuous process, a lifelong journey of refinement and transformation. Even after achieving the philosopher's stone, the adept continues to work on themselves, deepening their connection to the divine and further refining their mental and spiritual faculties. The great work is a reminder that mastery is not a destination but a process, one that requires constant dedication, awareness, and effort. As you engage in your own great work, it is essential to cultivate practices that support the ongoing refinement of the mind. Meditation, visualization, and concentration exercises are all powerful tools for maintaining mental clarity and alignment with your higher self. Additionally, it is important to remain vigilant of the thoughts and beliefs that enter your mind, continuously transmuting any lower vibrations into higher ones. One of the most effective practices for supporting the great work is daily reflection. At the end of each day, take time to reflect on your thoughts, actions, and emotions. Were they aligned with your higher self? Did you operate from a place of love, wisdom, and truth, or were there moments where fear, doubt, or attachment took hold? By engaging in this practice of self-reflection, you can continuously refine your mind, ensuring that it remains in alignment with the divine will. Another key aspect of the great work is the cultivation of inner stillness. In the busyness of daily life, the mind can easily become distracted and scattered, pulled in many different directions by external stimuli and internal chatter. By cultivating stillness through meditation or quiet contemplation, you create space for the mind to settle, allowing your higher consciousness to emerge. In this state of stillness, the mind becomes a clear channel for divine wisdom, free from the noise of the lower self. As you progress on your journey of mental alchemy, you will begin to notice profound changes in the way you experience life. Challenges that once seemed insurmountable will lose their power over you, and you will find yourself moving through the world with greater ease, clarity, and purpose. This is the gift of the great work, the ability to transcend the limitations of the lower mind and operate from a place of divine mastery. The final stage of the great work is the realization that the mind is not separate from the divine but is an expression of it. The journey of mental transformation ultimately leads to the recognition of oneness, the understanding that the mind, the body, and the spirit are all interconnected aspects of the same divine consciousness. In this state of unity, the mind becomes a tool for the expression of divine will, and the alchemist becomes a co-creator with the universe, manifesting the highest truths in both the inner and outer worlds. As we conclude this exploration of the great work, it is important to remember that the journey of mental and spiritual transformation is ongoing. There will always be new layers to uncover, new aspects of the self to refine, and new insights to gain. But as you continue on this path, know that each step brings you closer to the realization of your true nature as a divine being, capable of creating and shaping reality in alignment with the highest truths. The final chapter of this journey will explore how to integrate the lessons of the great work into everyday life, living as a mental alchemist in the modern world. For the true goal of the great work is not just personal transformation, but the ability to live in alignment with divine will, bringing the light of higher consciousness into every aspect of our daily existence. Chapter 11. The Esoteric Law of Correspondence, Aligning Mind with the Universe. As above, so below. As within, so without. This profound Hermetic axiom, often called the law of correspondence, speaks to the inherent unity between the microcosm and the macrocosm, the individual and the universe. It is a reminder that all things, from the smallest particle to the vast expanse of the cosmos, are interconnected, reflecting one another in perfect harmony. The principle of correspondence teaches us that the forces and patterns that shape the universe also shape the individual, and by understanding this law, we can align our minds with the universal forces, bringing our thoughts, actions, and experiences into greater harmony with the cosmos. At its core, the law of correspondence reveals that the inner and outer worlds are mirrors of each other. The state of our mind is reflected in the external circumstances of our lives, just as the larger movements of the universe are mirrored in the intricate workings of our inner selves. By understanding and mastering this correspondence, we gain the ability to align ourselves with the natural flow of universal energy, creating a life that is in balance with the greater whole. In esoteric traditions, this law is often represented through the symbolic relationship between the body and the cosmos. The human being is seen as a microcosm of the universe, containing within them the same principles, forces, and patterns that govern the stars, planets, and galaxies. The energy centers of the body, such as the chakras in Eastern traditions or the Sephirot in Kabbalah, correspond to the celestial bodies and cosmic forces, each influencing different aspects of our consciousness and experience. By aligning these inner energy centers with their corresponding cosmic forces, we bring ourselves into alignment with the universal rhythms, allowing our mind and body to operate in harmony with the divine order. But the law of correspondence is not just a philosophical concept, it is a practical tool for mental and spiritual transformation. When we recognize that our inner world reflects the outer world, and vice versa, we gain the ability to consciously shape our reality by changing our internal state. If we wish to experience peace, abundance, or love in our external world, we must first cultivate these qualities within ourselves. Similarly, by observing the patterns and forces in the outer world, we can gain insight into the deeper workings of our inner mind. The process of aligning with the law of correspondence begins with self-awareness. The outer world is always reflecting the inner state of our mind, whether we are conscious of it or not. If we find ourselves in a state of disharmony, experiencing conflict, stress, or chaos in our external circumstances, we can trace these experiences back to their internal origins. What thoughts, beliefs, or emotional patterns are being mirrored in the external world? What inner imbalances are manifesting in the form of outer challenges? Once we have identified these internal correspondences, we can begin the process of mental and emotional alignment. This requires a deliberate shift in our thoughts and beliefs, a conscious effort to cultivate the qualities we wish to see reflected in our external world. For example, if we are experiencing financial struggle, we must examine our beliefs and attitudes around abundance. Are we operating from a mindset of lack, fear, or limitation? If so, these thoughts will continue to be reflected in our external circumstances. By shifting our internal state to one of abundance, trust, and gratitude, we change the vibrational frequency of our thoughts, and the outer world begins to reflect this shift. Visualization is a powerful tool for working with the law of correspondence. By creating vivid mental images of the reality we wish to experience, we align our thoughts with the corresponding vibrations of that reality. The universe responds to these mental images, drawing into our lives the people, opportunities, and circumstances that match the vibrational frequency of our thoughts. But this process requires more than simply imagining a desired outcome. It requires aligning our thoughts, emotions, and actions with that outcome. The mind, heart, and body must be in harmony, resonating with the same frequency, in order for the law of correspondence to bring about the desired change. In addition to visualization, meditation can be a powerful practice for aligning the mind with the universe. In meditation, we quiet the mind, allowing it to attune to the deeper rhythms of the cosmos. By cultivating a state of inner stillness, we open ourselves to the subtle vibrations of the universe, allowing our consciousness to merge with the larger whole. This practice of attunement helps to align our thoughts and energy with the natural flow of universal forces, creating a sense of harmony between our inner and outer worlds. Another way to work with the law of correspondence is through ritual and ceremony. In many esoteric traditions, ritual is used as a means of aligning the individual with the larger forces of the universe. By engaging in symbolic actions, such as lighting candles, burning incense, or making offerings, we create a correspondence between our inner intentions and the outer world. These rituals act as a bridge between the visible and invisible realms, helping to align our energy with the higher vibrations of the cosmos. For example, a ritual for abundance might involve lighting a green candle, a color often associated with prosperity, placing symbols of wealth, such as coins or crystals, on an altar, and speaking affirmations of abundance while visualizing a life of financial prosperity. These symbolic actions create a correspondence between the inner intention and the outer manifestation, aligning the mind with the frequency of abundance. As we deepen our understanding of the law of correspondence, we begin to see that every thought, every emotion, and every action is part of a larger pattern. Nothing exists in isolation. All things are interconnected, and each moment of our lives is an opportunity to bring ourselves into greater alignment with the universal order. This understanding empowers us to take responsibility for our inner state, knowing that by changing ourselves, we change the world around us. But the law of correspondence also teaches us humility. Just as our inner world influences the outer world, so too does the outer world influence us. We are not separate from the universe. We are part of its vast, interconnected web. The forces that govern the stars also govern our minds, and the rhythms of the cosmos flow through our very being. To align with these forces is to recognize our place within the greater whole, to understand that we are both creators and participants in the divine order. As we continue our journey of mental and spiritual transformation, the final step is to integrate the lessons of the law of correspondence into our daily lives. This means living with a sense of alignment, both within ourselves and with the universe. It means recognizing that every thought, every action, and every experience is part of a larger pattern, and that by aligning ourselves with the higher forces of the universe, we can create a life that is in harmony with the divine will. In the final chapter, we will explore how to live as a mental alchemist, integrating the teachings of this book into every aspect of our daily lives. For the true goal of the great work is not just personal transformation, but the ability to live in alignment with the divine order, bringing the light of higher consciousness into every moment of our existence. Chapter 12. Living as the Alchemist, Integrating Mental and Spiritual Mastery. The true alchemist is one who has not only mastered the art of inner transformation but has integrated this mastery into every facet of their life. To live as an alchemist is to move through the world with a deep awareness of the unseen forces that shape reality, and to wield those forces with wisdom and intention. The journey of mental and spiritual transformation culminates not in isolated moments of insight but in the ability to live in constant alignment with higher principles. It is the ongoing practice of applying the wisdom of the great work, transforming the mundane into the sacred, the ordinary into the extraordinary. Living as an alchemist means embodying the truth that mind, body, and spirit are interconnected, and that every thought, emotion, and action contributes to the unfolding of our reality. The knowledge gained from mental discipline, visualization, and the alignment with universal laws must be carried forward into the daily experience of life. It is no longer enough to understand these principles intellectually. They must become the foundation upon which we build every aspect of our existence. The mind is the architect of reality, and as mental alchemists, we are called to live as conscious creators. One of the most important aspects of living as an alchemist is the cultivation of presence. Presence is the practice of being fully aware and engaged in each moment, recognizing that the here and now is where transformation happens. The mind has a tendency to dwell in the past or to project itself into the future, but the true alchemist understands that it is only in the present moment that we have the power to create. To be present is to be fully aligned with the flow of life, to engage with the world from a place of clarity, intention, and purpose. Cultivating presence requires mindfulness, a deep awareness of our thoughts, emotions, and actions as they arise. In each moment, we have the choice to act from a place of alignment or to react unconsciously. The more we practice mindfulness, the more we strengthen our ability to choose alignment, to bring the wisdom of the higher mind into the realm of daily life. This practice transforms the ordinary tasks of life into opportunities for spiritual growth. Every conversation, every decision, every experience becomes part of the alchemical process, a moment in which we can choose to embody our highest self. Another key to living as an alchemist is the integration of opposites. As we have explored throughout this journey, the mastery of duality is central to the alchemical process. In our daily lives, this means learning to navigate the inevitable challenges, conflicts, and polarities that arise with grace and wisdom. The alchemist does not shy away from difficulties but approaches them as opportunities for growth and transformation. Just as the alchemical marriage unites opposites into a harmonious whole, we too must learn to integrate the dualities of life, the light and the dark, the joy and the sorrow, the triumphs and the setbacks. When faced with challenges, ask yourself, what is the higher purpose of this experience? What lesson is being offered? How can I transform this situation into an opportunity for growth? By reframing challenges as part of the alchemical process, we step out of the role of victim and into the role of creator. We begin to see that every obstacle contains within it the seed of transformation, and that it is through our response to these challenges that we refine our consciousness. In addition to presence and the integration of opposites, the alchemist must cultivate equanimity, a state of mental and emotional balance that allows us to remain centered, regardless of external circumstances. Equanimity is the ability to maintain inner peace in the midst of chaos, to remain rooted in the higher self even when the world around us is in turmoil. This quality is essential for the mental alchemist, for it is only when the mind is calm and clear that it can truly align with the higher will and manifest from a place of divine wisdom. Equanimity does not mean indifference or detachment from life. Rather, it is the ability to engage with life fully while maintaining a sense of inner stillness. It is the recognition that the external world is constantly changing, but that our true source of peace and power lies within. Through the cultivation of equanimity, we develop the resilience to navigate life's ups and downs without losing our sense of purpose or alignment. One of the most powerful tools for cultivating equanimity is meditation. By practicing meditation regularly, we train the mind to return to a state of stillness and clarity, even in the face of external stressors. In meditation, we quiet the mental chatter, release attachment to outcomes, and connect with the deeper truth of our being. This practice allows us to carry a sense of calm and centeredness into our daily lives, enabling us to respond to life's challenges with wisdom rather than reactivity. As alchemists, we are also called to live with a sense of sacred responsibility. We understand that the power of the mind is not to be used for selfish or destructive purposes but for the greater good of all. The true alchemist operates from a place of love, compassion, and service, recognizing that their personal transformation is part of a larger collective awakening. Every thought, every action, every decision we make has a ripple effect that extends far beyond ourselves, influencing the world around us in ways we may not fully comprehend. To live with sacred responsibility means to approach life with humility and reverence, understanding that we are co-creators with the divine. It means aligning our will with the higher will, using our mental and spiritual power to uplift, heal, and inspire. Whether through acts of kindness, creative expression, or simply living in alignment with our highest truth, we contribute to the unfolding of a more harmonious and enlightened world. Finally, living as an alchemist requires a commitment to continuous growth. The great work is not a destination but a lifelong process of refinement and evolution. There will always be new layers to uncover, new insights to gain, new aspects of ourselves to transform. The alchemist embraces this ongoing journey with curiosity, openness, and a willingness to evolve. Each day presents an opportunity to deepen our mastery, to align more fully with the divine, and to bring the light of higher consciousness into the world. To support this continuous growth, it is essential to cultivate a daily practice that nourishes the mind, body, and spirit. Whether through meditation, visualization, journaling, or ritual, create a sacred space each day where you can connect with your higher self, reflect on your journey, and set intentions for the path ahead. This daily practice acts as a touchstone, grounding you in the principles of mental alchemy and supporting your ongoing transformation. As we come to the conclusion of this journey, it is important to reflect on the key teachings of mental and spiritual mastery. You have learned to harness the power of the mind, to purify and refine your thoughts, to align with universal laws, and to create your reality in harmony with the divine. You have explored the depths of alchemy, transforming base thoughts and emotions into higher states of consciousness. And now, you are equipped to live as a mental alchemist, integrating these teachings into every aspect of your life. The path of the alchemist is not always easy, but it is a path of profound meaning, purpose, and fulfillment. As you continue on this journey, remember that you are never alone. The forces of the universe are always supporting you, guiding you, and aligning you with your highest potential. Trust in the process, stay committed to your practice, and know that every step you take brings you closer to the realization of your true nature as a divine creator. In the final reflection, we will explore how to maintain this commitment to mental and spiritual mastery, creating a life that is in constant alignment with the principles of the great work. For the true alchemist, the journey is never complete. It is a continual unfolding, a sacred dance with the universe, where each moment is an opportunity for transformation and growth. As we approach the conclusion, if you've been enjoying the audiobook, don't forget to like the video and subscribe. Let me know in the comments what your biggest takeaway has been. Conclusion: the lifelong journey of mental transformation. The journey of mental and spiritual transformation is one of profound depth and boundless potential. As you have moved through the teachings of alchemy, Hermeticism, and esoteric wisdom, you have uncovered the deeper truths of the mind and spirit, truths that have always existed within you. But as this chapter of your exploration draws to a close, it is important to recognize that the true journey has only just begun. The path of the alchemist, the seeker, and the creator is a lifelong one, an ongoing dance with the forces of the universe that continuously unfolds, offering new insights, challenges, and opportunities for growth. Living as an alchemist is not a static state of being but a dynamic process of evolution, one that requires constant awareness, discipline, and intention. The mind, as you have learned, is both the architect of your reality and the gateway to higher consciousness. The practices of visualization, mental discipline, and alignment with universal laws are not simply tools to be used once and set aside. They are the foundations of a way of life. To truly embody the wisdom of the great work is to commit to these practices with consistency and dedication, knowing that each day offers a new opportunity to deepen your mastery. But this journey is not one of perfection, nor is it one that promises an absence of struggle. There will be moments when the old patterns of the mind resurface, when the challenges of life seem overwhelming, and when the light of your higher self feels distant or obscured. In these moments, it is essential to remember the teachings of mental alchemy, the power to transmute base thoughts into higher ones, to navigate the polarities of life with grace, and to align your will with the greater forces of the universe. The path of transformation is one of resilience, patience, and trust in the process. As you move forward, consider how you can integrate the principles of mental and spiritual mastery into your daily life. Reflect on the lessons learned throughout this book and create a personal practice that supports your ongoing growth. Whether through meditation, visualization, journaling, or sacred ritual, find a rhythm that aligns with your unique path and make it a daily commitment. This practice does not need to be complex or time-consuming. It simply needs to be consistent. The power of mental transformation lies not in grand gestures but in the small, intentional acts that accumulate over time, steadily reshaping your reality from the inside out. In addition to cultivating a daily practice, it is important to surround yourself with the energy and environments that support your transformation. Seek out the people, places, and experiences that uplift and inspire you, and be mindful of those that drain or distract you from your higher purpose. Just as the alchemist carefully selects the materials for their great work, so too must you be discerning in what you allow into your mental and spiritual space. The thoughts you entertain, the emotions you nurture, and the actions you take all contribute to the unfolding of your reality, so choose wisely. Remember, too, that the journey of mental transformation is not one you must undertake alone. Throughout history, alchemists, sages, and seekers have gathered in communities of like-minded individuals, sharing wisdom, support, and encouragement along the path. Whether you connect with others through formal spiritual groups, online communities, or simply through deep, meaningful conversations with those who understand your journey, know that there is strength in unity. The collective energy of shared intention can amplify your personal growth, offering new perspectives and insights that may not arise in isolation. As you continue on your journey, it is also important to cultivate a sense of curiosity and openness. The path of the alchemist is one of constant discovery, where each new layer of understanding reveals even deeper mysteries. Approach life with the wonder of a seeker, knowing that there is always more to learn, more to explore, and more to experience. The universe is vast, and its wisdom is infinite. What you have uncovered so far is only the beginning. Embrace the unknown with a sense of excitement, for it is in the unknown that the greatest revelations often arise. Finally, let love and compassion be the guiding forces of your journey. Mental and spiritual mastery is not about exerting control over the mind or the world around you. It is about aligning with the divine flow of life and allowing that flow to move through you with grace and wisdom. Love is the highest vibration, the force that binds the universe together, and it is through love that true transformation occurs. Whether in your thoughts, your actions, or your relationships, let love be the foundation of all that you do. This love begins with yourself, for only when you honor and nurture your own inner light can you truly shine it forth into the world. As you reflect on the teachings of this book, consider how you can embody this love in your everyday life. How can you approach yourself with greater compassion? How can you bring more kindness and understanding into your interactions with others? How can you use the power of your mind to create a reality that is not only aligned with your personal desires but also contributes to the greater good of all? The path of the alchemist is a sacred one, and it is one that you have chosen with intention and purpose. You are the creator of your reality, the master of your mind, and the architect of your spiritual evolution. The power to shape your destiny lies within you, waiting to be unlocked through the conscious application of mental and spiritual principles. As you move forward on this journey, trust in your own inner wisdom, for it is your greatest guide. The divine spark within you is always present, always guiding you toward your highest potential, even in moments of doubt or uncertainty. And so, the journey continues. There will always be new challenges to face, new layers to uncover, and new heights to reach. But with each step you take, you grow closer to the realization of your true nature, a being of light, wisdom, and infinite potential, capable of shaping your reality and contributing to the unfolding of the greater cosmic plan. This is the path of the alchemist, the path of mental mastery, and the path of divine creation. Go forth with confidence, clarity, and love, knowing that you are supported by the universe in every moment. The power of the great work is within you, waiting to be fully realized. As you continue on your journey of mental and spiritual transformation, may you live as the alchemist you truly are, aligned with the divine, in harmony with the universe, and ever evolving into the highest expression of your being. May your journey be filled with light, wisdom, and endless transformation. The great work is never truly complete, but each step forward brings you closer to the infinite potential that lies within. The universe awaits your unique contribution, and the world will be forever changed by the alchemy of your mind and spirit.